The first time I ever found out anything, my first experience with Written and Illustrated By or with Landmark Editions was at a teachers conference when they used to have teachers go to conferences in Wichita, and there was a table set up with a man, David Melton, and there were several students there, and I was very impressed by the students. They were talking about their books, they were all excited about their books, and Mr. Melton knew a lot about getting kids involved in writing, and so I was really anxious to go back to my school and share his learning style, the writing of the books, and to get involved with the contest.
At Landmark House Limited, our mission has been and continues to be the encouragement of children to express themselves creatively while impacting their lives in a positive and emotionally nurturing ways. We achieve these goals by encouraging children to write and illustrate their own books. You see, truly amazing things start to happen when kids begin to write and illustrate their own books. And as a nonprofit 501c3 organization, we can continue to offer young people a splendid way to stretch themselves beyond what they may be creatively comfortable with and realize their dreams of becoming published authors and illustrators of their own books. With 20 years experience producing books for kids, by kids, our National Kids in Print Book Contest for students is life-altering for any and all of our entrants and contest winners. They get to writing, they get to reading, they get to editing, they gain self-confidence and self-worth.
We have a regular writing program that we teach the kids how to write, how to draft, how to revise, how to go through and make a really good story. And then we say, forget it, now we're going to write this wonderful story now. We get into it, and then the creative side of their brain takes over, and it's just fantastic.
My book was entered into the National Kids in Print contest for students. When I first got the call that I had won the contest, I was really excited, and I was jumping up and down on the couch and I was really happy. The Legend of How Kansas Got Chipped is about, it's a fictional story. I wrote a legend about how state of Kansas got chipped up where the Missouri River is. It looks like it's chipped. Before the book, I wasn't very confident in my writing. I didn't think I was a very good writer, but I feel better about how I write now and also how I illustrate. I hope that it'll encourage kids who don't know me to write and pursue writing and your goals, and if you want to become an author and an illustrator, you can do it and just keep working at it.
When children engage in the freedom of creative expression, it becomes an immeasurable brightness about them. And that is a feeling we nurture. What a wonderful experience await our winners. When the young authors' books are selected for publication by a qualified panel of judges composed of professional editors, teachers, librarians, our student authors will enjoy all expense-paid trips to our office, where Landmark's professional staff will assist them in editing, refining, and final production of their books.
Well, Iquitos is about a peaceful island where money starts to fall from the sky. So then the people start getting greedy and forget about like family and friends and pets and stuff like that. And I hope that my book will also help other people and encourage other kids to also try to write books as well.
Landmark House Limited's books by students have received outstanding recognition and honors, including Life in the Ghetto by Anika D. Thomas, was presented a special recognition award by the Robert F. Kennedy Book Award Foundation. Who Owns the Sun by Stacy Chbosky was made into an award-winning live-action film by Disney Educational Productions. The Half and Half Dog by Lisa Gross was chosen by the editors of Newsweek as one of the 15 best children's books of the 1988 Christmas season. A Stone Promise by Kara Reichel. Kara enjoyed presenting an autographed copy of her book to the President and Mrs. George Bush in the Rose Garden of the White House. Joshua Disobeys by 6-year-old Dennis Vollmer is featured as a fine example of picture storybook in the Harcourt Brace Jovanovich Treasures to Share library series. Dennis was also listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the youngest author-illustrator of a commercially published book. Fogbound by Stephen Shepard inspired an orchestral score that was composed by Stanford University professor and conductor Dr. Arthur Barnes. The premiere performance was presented by the Pops Orchestra at the Lincoln Arts Festival. World War I by Dave Pilkey Dave has now become one of America's most popular creators of children's books and has had over 26 more books published, including the Captain Underpants series. Elmer the Grump by Elizabeth Hadel. Elizabeth has gone on to illustrate 16 other books that have been published, and she had contracts to illustrate 10 more. A Day by Dubravka Kolonovic. Dubravka returned to her home in Croatia, where she has illustrated 3 more books that have been published in her country. While tending to the creative sides of children is our primary focus, we are also mindful that, just like adults, kids need help dealing with life and all of its never-ending complexities. In our greatly acclaimed and well-established Emotional Impact series, we tackle issues such as self-worth, anger, grief, lying, family problems, and bullying. This powerful best-selling set of 7 books is authored by renowned psychologist Dr. Adolf Moser. Of equal importance to today's youth is an exciting and much-needed forthcoming line of books entitled Catch a Problem by the Tail, a collection written by the esteemed Dr. Ron Melmed of the Melmed Center in Scottsdale, Arizona.
As a developmental pediatrician, I see a lot of children with pretty significant behavioral difficulties. Some of them are pretty severe and pretty sad. That's indeed the reason why I'm so excited about the series which we're embarking upon, about helping children figure out ways to deal with divorce, ways to deal with ADHD, how to eat properly, how to conquer jealousy, how to be in charge of their own bodies, how to make sure that the television and electronic media aren't stealing valuable and precious time from them. These are the typical challenges that every single child faces on a day-to-day basis.
My book's called Through Eva's Eyes, and it's just about my grandma's story about her life before and then during the Holocaust. It starts off where she's, just like this kid in Poland. She goes on vacation with her family, and it talks just about her life, and it starts out really happy. And then through the course of the book, it kind of, it changes as, the soldiers occupy Poland, and then, they go off to the Lodz ghetto and then to the concentration camps, and it ends in their liberation.
Well, one thing that changed in our household was watching Phoebe's focus change from a regular 13-year-old to a more mature kid as she was doing this project. You could see that her relationship with her grandmother also changed a little bit when she was checking facts and getting details for her story. Her questions and answers to her grandmother involved a lot of listening and learning and patience. These were not yes and no answers. And so she really did, I could tell that she developed a lot of maturity in doing this project.
Probably the most amazing thing was just being able to work with the people here and just being able to look back now at my original and the story I have now and just see all the changes and the most amazing thing overall is just that I'm getting a book published. It's just really cool that I was able to do that, and I was also able to do my own illustrations and my own writing and do something that's so important to me and my grandma.
I've seen so much growth from my students, and I've seen growth from myself as well. I would say jump in, try it. It just gets better and better every time you do it. And it's just an exciting program to work with.
It has been said one's ultimate worth is not really measured by how much money one makes in a lifetime or what great heights one reaches professionally. Instead, one is finally judged by how often one has bent or knelt down to help, teach, or comfort a child. With such a truth, your supporting Landmark House with your tax-deductible donation will greatly enrich and enhance the lives of many children now and in years to come.
This is by far one of the best things that I have ever done with kids. I just love this program.